What is up? Today we're going to make hoe cakes, flapjacks, johnny cakes, whatever you want to call them, but most commonly known as pancakes from the 1800s today. We're going to be using Fannie Farmer's Cookbook from, when is it from? 1896, and we're going to use her griddle cake recipe and see how this goes. Because honestly, I'm like super curious to see how these compare to today's pancakes, if they're any different, I don't know. But I did a little research on pancakes and I'm going to share that with you now. Okay, so we're moving into the living room for just a hot second. We're going to go over some interesting facts, tidbits. I did a little research on pancakes for you that you might be interested in. Did you know the phrase flat as a pancake actually dates back to 1611 according to the Oxford English Dictionary? Pancakes were even found in Ötzi, or I don't know how you say his name, the Iceman, inside his stomach. Remember learning about him in like middle school or something? Basically, Ötzi's last meal was pancakes. I mean, that's something to think about. That's what I would want my last meal to be. My last meal would be Cracker Barrel pancakes. I love Cracker Barrel pancakes. They always come out perfect no matter what like restaurant you go to. I don't really love chains, but that chain is like the bomb. Anyway, I will link where I got this info below. It's from Nat Geo. It's actually pretty interesting. I thought I would just, give you a little information on Fannie Farmer because it's actually kind of interesting, a little American history if you're interested. Now, if you don't care about Fannie Farmer, you can skip the backstory part. I don't think she would appreciate it though, but you can skip it if you want. Okay, so Fannie actually grew up and lived in Medford and Boston, Massachusetts. She helped to standardize cooking measurements and approach baking and cooking more scientifically. She published the book that I was showing you in the beginning and taught women her knowledge in a school she actually started called Miss Farmer's School of Cookery. And I will link this very interesting article from the New York Times, which is where I got this info below. So that's all. That's my little blurb. Now we can get into the pancakes. It's so windy. So she actually calls them griddle cakes in her recipe book. She has sour milk griddle cakes and also sweet milk griddle cakes, which sounds better to me, so that's what we're gonna make. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add 3 lovely cups of flour to a bowl. Then we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons baking powder to this bowl, and then on top of that, 1 teaspoon of salt. So judging from the amount of flour, it seems like we're actually going to be making quite a bit of griddle cakes. So Fannie Farmer, she probably had a big family, I don't know, but she had a lot of mouths to feed because this is a large recipe. Okay, so moving on to the wet ingredients. First, we're going to put 1 egg into a bowl and then whisk it up really good. Then go ahead and measure out 2 cups of milk and add that to the egg mixture and then mix that well. Then go ahead and add that wet mixture to the dry mixture and mix it thoroughly according to Fannie Farmer's cookbook. The last thing you need to do is add 2 tablespoons of melted butter and just stir that right in. Okay, so impressions of the batter. It's very, very thick. It definitely looks like how you want pancake batter to look, with kind of, you don't want it totally mixed, even though this is thoroughly mixed, there's still like, I don't know if it's like flour that's like kind of clumped together. A little test. It tastes very bland, but still promising. Okay, let's heat up the griddle and throw these on and see how they turn out. In order to cook these instructions say cook as sour milk griddle cakes, and the sour milk griddle cakes say drop by spoonfuls onto a greased hot griddle, cook on one side. When puffed full of bubbles and cooked on edges, turn and cook other side. Serve with butter and maple syrup. So that's what we're going to do next. It's actually really cool to think about how she helped to like standardize recipes and make this a thing, because we wouldn't be able to enjoy the pancakes we know today without this. Guys, the pancakes are on the griddle and I miss adding a 4th cup of sugar. I don't know how, okay, it's like the simplest recipe I've ever seen, but I forgot it. So I'm just gonna add in a 4th cup of sugar now. Anyway. Okay, disaster kind of avoided. Let's try it now that I've fixed it. Definitely much better, much sweeter, much more pancake-like. Let's give it another shot at the griddle. Okay guys, so here's some random clips of me cooking the pancakes. You can see that they're very fluffy, they're very thick, they get really tall, and the batter is kind of hard to work with since it was so thick, but this is what I managed to do. I think keeping them smaller worked better. After some time, I finally finished and was able to plate some of my prettiest ones, and here they are. Alright, let's give these things a taste. Now they end up looking, like a modern pancake. I'm gonna have a little more. And I actually have all of these, a really good amount, and there's still a few more. They're definitely more of a dense pancake, but just very interesting. Okay guys, so that was my Fannie Farmer experiment with her griddle cakes. I think it actually turned out pretty good. I would recommend giving it a go, especially if you like thick, fluffy pancakes. So I don't know, maybe that was interesting. I'm interested in trying out more recipes from her cookbook, and also just other recipes in general, and trying out other recipe books, seeing how they are, you know. So go ahead and, you know, subscribe if you feel like. If you don't, whatever, give it a downvote too. It's fine. It's whatever. But okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.